Ooh, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. 3 orders of business on this video today. We're gonna do a video that was asked to be done. We're gonna do a quick shout out, and we're gonna do another shout out. So basically, the first one, guys, Scab over at Choir Boys with the Z Choir Boys Cutlery is marching to 5,000. There is gonna be some awesome giveaways for this goal, this reached goal. So get over to Scab's channel, Choir Boys Cutlery, give him a sub. It's free, it's easy. If I could do it, you could do it. So here's the Dan. He's an awesome guy, man. He's just awesome. Love Scab. So here's the deal. Speaking of awesome guys, the Angry Jackalope. The Angry Jackalope, man, it's hard to say fast. The Angry Jackalope, who was a purist brother of the blade, just phenomenal person, has sadly passed. He was a YouTuber. Some people got their start off his videos. I mean, the guy is just a really quality dude. He put out quality videos. No, that's not an orb. Those are just dust. So he had passed, and a fellow brother of the blade came to me and said, "Hey, man, can you do a tribute knife for the Angry Jackalope?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can come up with something." So what I did is, and I will show you step by step what I did. I came up and I took a picture of a jackrabbit, just a picture of a jackrabbit, and I said that head and ears looks like it could be something. So what I did is I then cropped and canted the head with the ear, and I thought that ear would make a pretty nice blade, right? So, and we all know that a jackalope, if you don't know, a jackalope is a jackrabbit with antlers. So it's a deadly jackrabbit. So when I was asked to do this design, it was only fitting that I had to incorporate somehow the jackrabbit, because that is the main frame of the jackalope, right? So then what I did is I erased all the stuff around this stuff. So now I had the head and the ear. And then I had to flip it, and I just went right past where it was. So then I hollowed it out, and that's what it is. And then what I did is I flipped it, so the ears went that way, so it would be the blade. And then I just had to trim the head down. So I went from that shape right there, and I will show you the finished product that looks a lot like this. So here you see the head. This is the basic shape of the head, and then I tore it down and turned it into a grip. And then this is the ear, and I just elongated it and gave it a nice cut. So I wanted to, and you could see, you could follow this line. That's the top of a jackrabbit's head, and then the ear, that is a perfect line going through there. That's the entire shape of the ear right there, just pointier. So I wanted to do that, and I thought in here doing an angry eye. I don't know if you can really see it, doing an angry eye, hand stamp. So what they would do is they take like a chisel and they hammer it in to make the line, and it would make a cool eye. I thought that would be cool, and I thought of doing some kind of bone or stag for the handle, and I thought, how cool would it be to do like a sweet black bone, right, a horn, and so that's where that came from. So now, while this one won't be on the website to buy, it's not going to be mass produced, you can, if you would like, you can order one for yourself and have it. If you are a fan of the Angry Jackalope, you can either find it, I did it on Facebook, so I put it there, and also on my YouTube that you're watching now, if you go to the community tab, hit that, and I recently posted it in there. So if you want to have one made, you can go to KHHI, the Kukri House in Nepal, and you can have them make it. And you don't have to go there, just send it to them. Or if you have a knife maker already, you can send them the design and say, "Hey man, can you do this?" And that way you can have your own. So it's a free design to take and do whatever you want with. Just a tribute for the Angry Jackalope. I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool. It was a good idea for somebody to ask to do that too. All right, so here is a video, something that I was asked to do. So this video, somebody had asked me, and we talk a lot about self-defense and this and that, and then we talk about being in the woods and things like that. Somebody asked me, can you do a video on the best knife for self-defense, but against critters? Like, if I was going to have a self-defense knife in the woods, what would it be? And I said, that's actually a pretty cool idea. And rather than saying this exact knife, because not everybody's going to have the same exact knives, you know, so run out and buy it because this is the one. No, I'm not going to tell you that. But what I will do is I'm going to show you a bunch of different styles. And I mean, every style, it's his own style. I mean, there's going to be 1,000 made. You know what I mean? There's not one dagger. So if I said, oh, the best choice is a dagger, well, then you don't need just one dagger. Where's all this stuff coming from? So speaking of dagger, that's one of the choices. So basically, what's the best knife to have? Let's say you're hunting or you're camping or you're hiking and you got to worry about bears and cougars and rodents of unusual size, ROUSs, and you have to worry about that kind of stuff. I'm getting a phone call right now, but I'm going to ignore it. It's just blocking the screen. Sorry, Kevin, I'll call you right back. So basically, I thought, well, what about a dagger? A dagger is a good choice. A dagger would be really good as far as offense, like, oh crap, there's a rabbit right there, or something that, you know, you might be able to take out. A dagger is a really good choice. The good thing about a dagger for self-defense against an animal is generally they're double-edged and they're made to stab. The problem with a dagger is generally they're not always this big. The charade needle, which this is nice and long, which would give me some reach, but not all that much. And when you're talking about a thin blade, you're talking about a thin handle, and you really want something that's going to give you a better grip than this. So would my choice of knife be the dagger? No, it wouldn't. Would I have confidence that I can defend myself against a critter? I'll tell you what, man, you guys go on the old interweb. There's some stories there where people killed bears with a buck 110. Buck 110. And so are you guaranteed to be able to live in a bear attack with a knife? No, but can it be done? It has been done, so yes, it can. Yes, it can. You never know. All right, so then I started thinking, okay, well, if you're out hiking and camping and hunting and whatnot, what about a hunting knife? This is a typical regular hunting knife. This one is much better, though, much more beautiful. It's got the inlay cow fur. So this is my my hen and rooster, right? This is a typical stag handle hunting knife. Great knife. I can use self-defense against a human any day of the week. When you're talking about an animal, I mean, you have the ability to slash, you have the ability to stab. But what you're talking about when you're talking about generally like a good hunting knife, you get one with stag handles. It's just the way to go. But then once you get, you know, blood and sweat and all that, you got to worry about slippage. This one, not so much because it's made right. But it's made to take apart an animal once it's already down, not to down an animal, if you know what that means. So I thought, okay, so maybe your typical hunting knife, maybe not the right choice. And it would be easy just to say what the right choice is, sure, you know, for me, but you want to have the knowledge of the options. So then I started thinking about like creativity, and I started thinking, well, what if you fight fire with fire? Generally, if you're getting attacked by something, it's going to have some kind of claw. And I thought, why not a karambit? And I picked up the Schrade Shasta McNasty, which is Shasta McNasty. And I thought, all right, so I can give it that old raptor claw, and I can fight fire with fire, because when an animal is fighting an animal, that's what it's going to be. Am I going to be able to stab as easy? Not so much. And when it comes to an animal, I really want to be able to get inside those ribs and get to the heart and cut under and up and be able to dive in and twist. And that's one of the main things. When you're stabbing an animal, you got to be able to twist. You want to open up a wound channel so it bleeds out faster, right? Because otherwise, the longer you have to fight with an animal, the more screwed you are. Even if it's a dog attack, it just doesn't have to be in the woods. If it's a dog attack, right, you got to be able to hit it on that slash really good. And if you don't catch, like if I'm catching the arm of the animal, the leg, that's where this thing is going to be in if I catch it by the throat. But you have to catch it just at the right angle for this to be an effective piece for that. So I'm going to say no on the karambit. Okay, so that brings me to your survival knife category, and I chose a large survival knife. And the reason I chose a large survival knife with the Essie Hunglas, one of the greatest, in my opinion, knives ever made. I love this freaking thing. This is one of those knives, you'll hear me say it every, I wish I was the one who designed this knife. I wish I was the one. This knife is awesome. I wouldn't change a thing about it. Not a thing. And I love to do redesigns. There's nothing I would need to redesign on this. So this would be a great piece for something like that. The only issue I had with this one was there's nothing to protect myself. There's no guard. So that would be the only thing as far as animal. When you have to get in, you don't want to catch a claw or a tooth or something like that. You want as much protection as possible. But you want to be able to also stay away from the animal. And having a blade this long really keeps the animal at a good distance. It really keeps it at a good. If you have dumpy little skinny arms, short arms, guess what? You're still going to have a little bit of reach there, which is good. But that wouldn't be my choice. That wouldn't be my choice. And speaking of reach, I thought about the Kislyar. The Kislyar Supreme. Perfect name for this knife because it is Suprema. This knife is phenomenal. And you're thinking, okay, but it's got a slicker metal round no grip handle. How's that going to work for you? It doesn't have the length, so how's that going to work for you? How are you going to keep it away, and how are you going to keep it from slipping? It's the freaking Kislyar. And what that means is once you take off that end cap and you pull out your little survival kit, your knife just turned into a spear. And this one, I made this stick specifically for it. I could wedge it all the way down, but then it's hard to get out. And the reason is so it doesn't slip out accidentally. So this right here is freaking amazing. I can swing from a distance. I can stab from a distance. I can do anything I want. So this would be great for like hunting and defense. If I can stab at an animal, this would be great for. The only issue is if you swing and you miss, now you have to worry about recovery and getting back before some animal that can run 40 miles an hour, that's only 6 feet away from you, gets inside of you. So you either have to be smart enough and have enough balls to just hold until it attacks, and then not do this and freak out, but hold it and wait for the animal to come to you rather than you go to it. But if you don't have that kind of patience or freaking inside of you, you're going to end up swinging, you're going to miss, and you're going to get tore to hell up. So, even though I love it, my Kislyar would not be the right choice. But I'll tell you what, man, if you need it for anything else, this knife is the right choice. Guys, if you haven't seen any of my videos on this knife, them Russians, boy, they know what they're doing when they're talking about a knife. So the Kislyar Supreme, it's not going to be my choice. It's not going to be my choice. Sadly, I'm putting it away, even though I can put it on a stick. But here's the deal too. You either have to have it on a stick already. And when I hike with a hollow handle, like if I take my Cold Steel Bushman or my Schrade Survival hollow handle, I put it on the stick and walk with it on the stick. That way, it's already there just in case, and I don't have to fiddle with it later. So, it's always nice to have a designated stick for it too. So that leaves me to one thing. The whole thing I was talking about reach, plus ability to stab, plus the ability to guard. And that's where I came with the thought, well, why not this? Why not this? The Confederates were onto something. This is so a sword doesn't take off your fingers, right? If it can block a sword from taking off my fingers, it can maybe, hopefully, at least, if something bites down, that jaw can get locked around that and not be on my fingers and give me an extra chance to do something. If it's a swat from a claw, hopefully it would block enough. And I'd rather have something than nothing, right? But now here's the thing. I have reach. I have guard on both sides. I have a full guard here. I have the ability to swat, to bang the skull of something. I have the ability to stab. I have the ability to slash. / keep away all day. So what would my choice be for, let me bring y'all a little close, let's get intimate. What would my choice be for self-defense against critters in the woods? I know it looks dirty, but it's just used, guys. It's used. This is not a wall hanger, let me tell you. So I would have to say a large guarded buoy. A large guarded buoy. Remember, all buoys are fighting knives first, right? They were designed to be the ultimate go knife. So when the cowboys would get on a horse and say, okay, I got to go from Missouri to Montana, that's a pretty long ride. You're going to do a lot of camps. You're going to run into a lot of crap. You got to have a knife, and you're on a horse. You're not bringing your carriage. You're on a horse. You're just going. Maybe you're a Texas Ranger and you're scouting all over Texas. You're not bringing your shovel. You're not bringing your axe. You're not bringing your big knife. You're not bringing your kitchen set. No. You're bringing one knife that has to be able to chop onions the same as it chops bunions, or Paul Bunyan. Anything that you might need to defend yourself with, or cook with, or camp with, or produce firewood. That was a knife the cowboys carried. That's why they carried a big buoy, because it was a one-all, do-all. But it was really like, I better be able to protect myself with it as much as I can protect myself against an apple. I better be able to, protect myself against Bigfoot or you never know. So that's why this knife would be my choice, because it is designed for defense, it's designed for offense, and it's designed for guard. I mean, that's for me, it's a no-brainer. If I was attacked by a mountain lion or a bear, and it was either fold up and die or fight for my life, if I don't have something that goes pow, pow, pow on me, this is my next best, not even a word. This is my next best choice. This thing is dope. So that's it. My pick for survival against animals, and any of these would help. Anything would help. A sharpened stick will help. Think about it. Cavemen killed saber-toothed cats with sharpened sticks. That's what they did. So if you can't defend yourself with something better than that, I told you before, stay in the house. All right, so that's it. Now I gotta go put all this crap away. Ooh, maybe I'll go outside and play a little bit too, because I don't know, I just love putting this thing in my hand. I do need to cut up some firewood, so maybe that's what I'm gonna go do. All right, that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.